Here, stop, play!
They could pass the ball all over the place. Flat.
2nd and 21. Catch is made on the loose.
Watson.
Turning upfield. You just said his name, Kinda Watson. All the way to the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, Bishop Gorman.
I'm sorry.
You know something?
I do.
We got trouble on the sideline here. It's getting messy over there. Got to clean that up.
But who's that going to be on? Because it looked like Bishop Gorman came over there, and
it'll be an interesting call. There's definitely flags.
But it's on the Lone Peak sideline. So do you get the guy who retaliated, or do you get the guy who started?
You never know.
There's another penalty.
That was the last play of the game.
As a result of the infraction on the field, this game is over.
Hello, football fans. Ryan here. Yes, this game between Bishop Gorman, the team in blue, and Lone Peak, the team in white, was called with 9:25 left in the third quarter. At the time, Bishop Gorman was leading 35-14. The game was played in the great state of Nevada. Why was the game forfeited, and why was Bishop Gorman given the victory? What we saw after the play didn't seem all that egregious. Well, the game was called because in Nevada, if more than 3 players leave the sidelines during an incident, the game is ruled a forfeit. I only know the rule through what I've read in online articles, but it appears there was an incident, and it appears more than 3 players left their sidelines. If officials in Nevada can shed more light on this rule and or this incident, please do so in the comments section below. We'd all love to know more. I learned of this game via this article here. In this article, the author laments that we now live in a socialist country because this game was forfeited. The irate commentator writes, "This is how you mold boys into men. When a fight breaks out, you run towards the action." He also says, "You'll see more action at your local dive bar tonight." The author is right about that, but he's referring to adults. This game was played by kids. If you want to teach kids to run into a fight, fine, but please don't do it on a football field. We are football officials, not boxing referees. Furthermore, I think one way to mold boys into men is to teach them how to manage their emotions so they don't do something rash that adversely affects themselves and or their teammates. The aforementioned article wasn't the only tome dedicated to the forfeiture, but it did have a wee bit stronger of opinion than the others I read. I know officials sometimes bend or soften rules. I know we sometimes just talk to players instead of throwing flags. But when it comes to rules that must be followed or the privilege of playing football will be revoked, we can have little to no leeway. It should be noted that Rule 981L says it's not only an unsportsmanlike conduct foul, but an ejection for a substitute to leave the team box during a fight. I don't know if what happened in this game constitutes a fight, but 981L does indicate that the rules book doesn't want players leaving the bench unless to enter the game as a player. Ergo, none of this comes out of left field. It's just that Nevada added a stipulation to what is already in the NFHS rules book. I don't officiate in Nevada, so I don't know the history behind or the nuances surrounding this rule. But in my state of Washington, we have a discrimination policy which, if not adhered to, could lead to the game being terminated. Do I think it's perfect? No, but I think it's a good thing, and the heart of the rule is absolutely in the right place. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Nevada and their rule. In that community's opinion, they believe this rule will help keep kids safe. Is it foolproof? Probably not. Could it be tweaked? I don't know, maybe. Should it be followed? Yes. I'm not a fan of one size fits all, especially when it comes to rules and kids. Maybe this game didn't need this rule, but we all know that's not how it works. Lone Peak players broke the rule about coming off the sidelines, and consequences were administered. Bottom line, this is not an existential crisis. This is not an indictment on anything. It's just kids losing a privilege for not following a rule. It happens every day. Just this time, it happened on television. No matter if you think we live in a socialist country because of this forfeit, Or if you're like me and say these kids have to follow the rules, and if they don't, there are consequences, this whole ordeal sucks. These are two very good programs. We all wanted to watch them play an entire game, not 2.5 quarters. And don't forget, two things can be true at the same time. This forfeiture can be both unfortunate and the right call. I guess you could say this game had some lightning. Literally. So here's the first of 3 little questions I have pertaining to the actual on-the-field officiating/game management. The game was stopped due to the fracas, and I imagine the officials knew it was going to be terminated. Nonetheless, should they have cleared the field because of the lightning? I know this is beyond petty, and they definitely had their hands full, but the Lightning doesn't care if the game is forfeited. I'm legitimately curious here. What do you think? Let us know in the comments section below. Second question, did Lone Peak, a team from Utah, know of this rule before the game started? Bishop Gorman certainly did. Bishop Gorman coach Brett Browner said,
"We technically practice that. That sounds crazy, but we have practiced that many times. I was kind of proud of the guys that when it was happening, coaches are taught to turn around and make sure kids don't move off the sideline, which they didn't."
Good for them. They should practice it. They were probably going to win anyways, but it did earn them a victory. From the body language of the Lone Peak coach, it appears he did not know the rule. It doesn't take his team off the hook, but I hope he was told about it before the contest. If you were working this game, would you have made sure the Lone Peak coach knew about this rule? Tell us your answer in the comments section below. Lastly, the White had announced to the stadium the game was terminated, but he said little else. And yes, I know, silence can't be misquoted. But what do you think about the White Hat also giving an explanation? An explanation as to why the game was terminated, and maybe even referencing the rule. The few times I've been mic'd up during a game, I've briefly explained high school only rules to the crowd. People are used to the professional football they see on television, that being NCAA and the NFL. They are not used to high school football rules, which are a little different. Again, put your thoughts in the comments section below. These are just questions. I'm not trying to second guess this crew at all. They were put in a very tough situation, and it appears they did a very good job. I'm just coming up with talking points to help us better officiate in the future. This is in no way meant to be criticism. What do you think about this whole situation? Do you like the rule? Do you not like the rule? Does your state have a similar rule? Have you ever officiated a forfeited game? Let us know in the comments section below. I think the big takeaway from all this is if you play high school football in Nevada and there's an incident, don't leave the bench.
Now it's your turn. Please share your wisdom, insights, and experiences in the comments section below. We have the best commenters in the business, so make sure you join the discussion. If you've enjoyed this video, and we hope you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Here's the Play.